What is happening, my YT gang? Y'all already know what time it is. We are back with another one, and today we're going to be talking all about this college football playoff situation, in which a lot of people feel like this 12-man team or this 12-team bracket is a bunch of BS because we don't have the 12 best teams when it comes to the playoffs. As you can see, if you was watching last weekend, SMU, Clemson, Indiana, Tennessee, they just look bad, okay? And a lot of people are complaining about this because of the fact that they feel like these teams did not deserve to be in the college football playoffs. And one person who is really, really heated about it is my boy Stephen A. Smith. And we got that clip, man. I'm going to go ahead and run it for y'all. But before I run it, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. That way, every time I drop something new, you guys will be the first one to be notified. But I'm going to go ahead and stop running my mouth, man. Let's go ahead and see how Stephen A. feel about this whole college football playoff thing. Let go.
But in the end, SMU, Tennessee, Indiana, the way they got handled by Notre Dame, kind of ruined the first year of the playoffs to some degree. Because getting back to what Kirk Herbstreit, my colleague at ESPN and ABC, had said, he was saying, hey guys, forget who's most deserving. Take the best. So if you know that Georgia and Alabama, or Georgia's already in it, but Alabama, Ole Miss, South Carolina is better than these other teams, like an SMU or an Indiana, he's saying, nah, come playoff time, we got to pick the team that we know is the best. Now, that's a troubling situation for me. And here's why, y'all. Because in football, unlike basketball, you don't get to play everybody. You can only play the schedule that's in front of you. So I understand how unfair that could be. You Florida State last year, you 12-0, and you don't get picked for the college football playoffs. That's unfortunate. USMU, you 11-1 this year, and if they hadn't picked you, that would be unfortunate. But the eye test has to matter. And if we see a team that we just know, look, they ain't better, we got to pick the best teams for the college football playoffs, then that's what the hell we got to do. Because Indiana was, listen, their coach talked a lot of smack on college football game day. Top 25, we don't just beat them, we kicked their ass. And then that night he went out and got his ass kicked by Notre Dame. That's our problem. We can't have, the Georgias versus the TCUs for the national championship game. We can't have, a team like Georgia, who didn't make the playoffs last year, going up against Florida State, who also didn't make it, and Florida State don't send half their team to the bowl game, and they get trounced 63-3. We can't have stuff like that in the college football playoffs. We can't have teams that we look at and we can see clearly they don't necessarily belong with the creme de la creme from another conference. It's just that the other team that was the creme de la creme from the other conference didn't win their conference championship. They're playing the conference championship game, so they get punished. We got to make sure that we got the best 12 teams in the nation. Not the most desired, okay? The best.
Now, to be completely honest with you, I agree with every single thing that Stephen A. said. When you look at SMU, they look like they did not belong, okay? When you look at Clemson, yeah, maybe they could have been in the game or stayed in the game or whatever the case may be when they had like 4th and 2 and they went for it and they didn't get the touchdown or whatever the case may be. But after that, Texas just pulled on away. But at the beginning of that game, man, it didn't look competitive. You get what I'm saying? When you look at Indiana, they got dogged. Yeah, they started to come back at the end, but, man, the game was already over. We knew that, okay? And then you look at who else it was? Tennessee. They just got dogged. Now, I do understand when it comes to home field advantage and stuff like that, looking at the teams that had to play, Texas, Ohio State, Penn State, when it comes to that atmosphere, it's different, okay? So I do understand the fact that it is a tough place to play, but to have absolutely no competition being played, especially in the playoffs, Man, that's unacceptable, I feel like. Now, I will say that it does sucks for those teams, you know what I'm saying? Because everybody should get an opportunity or get a chance to try and make it to the playoff, especially if you had a good run throughout the season. But they also got to take into consideration, man, these teams are not playing anybody. It's unfortunate, it sucks, but real is real. They not playing anybody. Maybe, just maybe, from this point going forward, they can fix it by when it comes to like Georgia playing against Division I AA schools, instead of playing those teams, maybe they'll put Boise State on their schedule. Or when Alabama be playing like what Western Kentucky University or whatever the case may be, maybe they'll put Indiana or maybe they'll put any of them type of teams on their schedule to see if they can match up to that level. But until they do, man, these teams don't belong. I'm sorry to say it, but it looks like a joke. A lot of loopholes that got to get fixed. Until then, everybody's going to continue to look at college football playoffs as a big joke. Point blank, period.